Have you ever wondered what your life might feel like if your mind could be calm, your heart open, and your presence deeply rooted, no matter what life brings? In the middle of this fast-paced world, where noise fills every corner of our day, it's easy to forget how much peace we're truly capable of holding. We wake up already overwhelmed. We rush from task to task, constantly checking, scrolling, reacting. We carry a quiet tension in our chest, a constant sense that something isn't quite right, though we can't always name it. And deep inside, we wish we could just breathe and feel whole again. The Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." But how do we return to that peace when the world is always pushing us away from it? The answer is not in doing more. It's not in escaping. It's not in changing who we are. The answer is much simpler and more profound. It lies in the small daily choices we make, the habits we build, the way we choose to live each moment. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that transformation doesn't require grand gestures. It begins in silence, in stillness, in awareness. In this video, we're going to explore 7 simple yet powerful habits rooted in Buddhist teachings, practices that can help you reconnect with yourself, reduce inner noise, and gently become a better version of who you already are. These habits aren't about religion. They're about living wisely. They're about learning to walk more gently in the world, to speak with intention, to eat with gratitude, to breathe with presence, to let go with trust, and to live each day with compassion, toward others and toward yourself. You don't need a temple to practice these things. You don't need robes, rituals, or perfect understanding. All you need is a quiet willingness to begin, a heart open to the possibility that life can be simpler, that you can be more grounded, that even at this age, especially at this age, you can grow deeper into peace. Today, we begin with one question. Who might you become if your life was guided by just a little more awareness, a little more kindness, and a little more stillness each day? Let's take this journey together, not to chase peace, but to remember that it's already within us, and to let that remembering shape the way we live. In Buddhism, there's a simple but powerful truth. We become what we repeatedly do. Our lives are shaped not by the big decisions we make once or twice a year, but by the small choices we make every single day, often without even thinking. What we say, what we think, how we react, how we treat others and ourselves, these things create a pattern, and that pattern becomes our life. The Buddha taught that every action, every thought, every intention plants a seed. Some seeds grow into peace, patience, and wisdom. Others grow into stress, anger, or confusion. But the beautiful part is this: we are the ones planting those seeds, moment by moment. We are never too old, never too far gone, and never too late to plant something new. No matter where we are in life, we always have the choice to turn toward more mindful ways of being. Habits, in this context, are not just routines. They are expressions of the inner self. They are the bridge between knowledge and transformation. You might know that peace is important. You might agree that compassion matters. But unless those values become part of your daily life, your habits, they remain just ideas. Buddhism gently reminds us that real wisdom is lived, not memorized, not quoted, lived. And that's why, in this video, we focus on habits, not beliefs, not philosophies, but practices you can bring into your everyday life. These aren't dramatic changes. You won't need to travel to a monastery or give up everything you own. These habits are subtle shifts in how you breathe, eat, walk, listen, speak, and reflect. They're quiet, but they're powerful. Because when repeated with care, they begin to reshape the way you experience the world and yourself. Imagine your day, not ruled by automatic reactions, but guided by conscious presence. Imagine moving through challenges with more patience, speaking with more kindness, eating with more gratitude, resting with more ease. These aren't distant dreams. They're entirely possible when your life begins to align with mindful habits. In the teachings of the Buddha, it's not who we were yesterday that defines us. It's what we practice today. And in that practice, there is great hope. Hope that no matter how many years have passed, no matter what regrets we carry, we can begin again. Right now, right here, with the next breath, the next word, the next quiet choice to be more aware, more loving, more human. Habit 1. Start the day with mindful silence. The way we begin our day shapes everything that follows, and yet, most of us wake up and immediately step into noise, scrolling through the phone, checking emails, watching the news, thinking about 100 things that haven't happened yet. Before our feet even touch the ground, our minds are already racing, and from that very first moment, we lose connection with the only place where peace truly lives, the present moment. But what if you began your day differently? What if, before the world could rush in, you gave yourself the gift of 5 minutes of silence? In Buddhist practice, the early hours of the morning are considered sacred, not because of any ritual, but because the mind is fresh, untouched, quiet. It's a window, a chance to tune in before the day begins to pull us outward. In those few minutes, you don't have to meditate perfectly. You don't have to chant or analyze anything. You simply sit, breathe, notice. You feel your body. You watch your breath. You allow yourself to arrive in the new day with gentleness. This isn't about doing more. It's about doing less. No phone, no talking, no rushing, just stillness, just being, just waking up slowly, with awareness. As if you're meeting the morning like an old friend, instead of a battlefield. The Buddha often reminded us that how we start influences how we continue. When we begin with calm awareness, it becomes easier to return to that calm throughout the day. We become less reactive, less hurried, more spacious in our thoughts, more intentional in our actions. You might be surprised how much 5 minutes can change you. Not overnight, but over time, like sunlight softening the edges of a dark sky, this small habit begins to shift the way you carry yourself. It helps you remember that you're not here to just survive the day. You're here to live it, fully, with presence. And so tomorrow morning, before anything else, just sit. No pressure, no perfection. Just silence, just breath, just you and the gentle truth that you are alive. That is where peace begins. Habit 2. Eat with gratitude and awareness. We eat every day, but how often do we actually taste our food? How often do we pause to feel thankful, not just for what's on the plate, but for everything that brought it here? The seed, the sun, the rain, the farmer, the hands that prepared it. In a world that moves so fast, even meals have become rushed, distracted moments. We eat while watching the news, checking messages, thinking about what's next. Our body receives the food, but our mind is somewhere else entirely. In Buddhism, eating is not just about nourishment. It's a sacred opportunity to return to the present moment, to slow down, to reconnect. The simple act of eating becomes a meditation, one that grounds us in gratitude, presence, and awareness. When we practice eating mindfully, we begin with one small shift, slowing down. We look at the food. We take a breath. We appreciate its colors, its aroma, its warmth. We take the first bite with full attention. We chew slowly, feeling each texture, each flavor. We notice the way our body responds. And most of all, we allow ourselves to be fully here, with the food, with our breath, with this moment. The Buddha taught that when we eat with mindfulness, we're not only feeding the body, we're also feeding the heart. Gratitude grows, simplicity returns. We start to see food not just as fuel, but as a gift. And in doing so, we stop overeating, we stop rushing, and we start respecting the life that sustains us. This habit doesn't require a special meal or a quiet room. You can begin with one meal a day, just 10 mindful bites, taken slowly with presence. You'll begin to notice how the mind settles, how the heart softens, how something as ordinary as a piece of bread becomes extraordinary when you truly taste it. To eat with gratitude is to recognize that nothing is truly ordinary, that every meal is a reminder. You are alive, you are supported, and in this very moment, you have enough. What more do we really need? Habit 3. Speak less, listen more. Words carry power. They can heal or they can hurt. They can build bridges or burn them down. And yet, in daily life, so many of our words spill out without care, without awareness. We speak to fill silence. We speak to prove a point. We speak because we're uncomfortable not speaking. But in the Buddhist path, speech is not something casual. It is sacred. It is a reflection of our inner world. The Buddha taught the practice of right speech, one of the 8 essential elements of the Noble Path. It invites us to ask simple yet profound questions before we speak. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? These questions are not meant to restrict us, but to liberate us from gossip, from judgment, from the urge to always have the last word. They help us return to the heart of communication, which is connection, not control. When we speak less, we begin to hear more, not just the words of others, but the silence between them. We begin to listen, not just to respond, but to understand. And something beautiful happens in that quiet. We start to notice things we never saw before. The emotion behind a sentence, the pain behind a complaint, the love behind a whisper. We become present. We become real. Speaking less does not mean being passive. It means choosing our words like we would choose a gift, offering only what nourishes, what uplifts, what does no harm. And in that restraint, we become more powerful, not less. Because silence, when held with wisdom, can speak louder than any argument. And listening, when done with the heart, can be the most healing act of all. This habit is not always easy. In a culture that values fast replies and loud opinions, stillness can feel strange. But over time, we begin to see it not as emptiness, but as space. Space for understanding. Space for compassion. Space for truth to emerge, gently and without force. To speak less and listen more is to return to harmony, not only with others, but with ourselves. In the quiet, we meet our own mind. And in listening deeply, we become instruments of peace in a noisy world. Habit 4. Practice walking meditation. Walking is something we do every day, often without thinking. We walk from the bedroom to the kitchen, from the parking lot to the store, from one task to another. Our feet move, but our mind is somewhere else. We're planning, worrying, remembering, rushing. Rarely are we truly walking, but in the Buddhist tradition, walking itself can become a meditation, a way of returning to the present moment, a way of coming home to the body, to the earth, to the now. Walking meditation is not about getting somewhere. It's not a workout. It's not a destination. It's a practice of presence, of placing each step with awareness, of breathing with the earth, of feeling your foot touch the ground, and recognizing, in that small contact, the sacredness of being alive. The instructions are simple. Walk slowly. Breathe gently. Place your attention on each step. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to clear your mind. Just walk and notice. Walk and feel. Let each step be a reminder that there is no need to hurry. Let each breath guide your pace. Let the rhythm of your body bring you back to peace. This habit can be done anywhere, in your backyard, down the hallway, or in a quiet corner of a park. What matters is not where you walk, but how you walk. With intention, with presence, with kindness toward your own body and mind. Thich Nhat Hanh, a beloved Buddhist teacher, once said, "Walk as if your feet are kissing the earth." Such a gentle image, soft, respectful, awake. When we walk this way, the world changes. The path becomes a friend. The breeze becomes a blessing. Even a short walk becomes a sacred act. And what's more, this practice is especially powerful for those in later stages of life. As the body slows, as time becomes more precious, walking meditation offers a way to stay connected, to remain grounded, to find beauty in each step. It reminds us that we don't have to chase peace. We can simply walk toward it, slowly, softly, one step at a time. In every mindful step, we release the future. We let go of the past. We arrive, fully and gratefully, into the life that is unfolding right beneath our feet. As we move deeper into this journey, the habits become less about what we do and more about how we are. They invite us to live from the heart, to walk with softness, and to remember that our inner world shapes the outer one. The last three habits are not just practices. They are ways of being, simple, quiet, and deeply transformative. Habit 5 is to live each day with kindness. Not dramatic acts, not grand gestures, but small moments of genuine care. Holding the door, offering a smile, speaking gently, checking on someone who might feel alone. In Buddhism, this quality is called metta, loving kindness. It's not a feeling we wait for, it's a choice we make. The Buddha taught that even one kind thought, sincerely held, can ripple outward and ease suffering in unseen ways. Kindness softens the edges of life. It creates warmth where there was coldness. And when we choose it over and over again, it becomes a natural part of how we move through the world. Habit 6 is to let go of what you cannot control. So much of our suffering comes not from what happens, but from our resistance to it. We cling to how things used to be. We replay old mistakes. We try to change others, to fix what is broken, to force life into shapes it no longer fits. But the more we hold on, the heavier we become. Letting go is not giving up. It's trusting that life, in its own wisdom, continues to move, even when we don't understand it. The Buddha compared clinging to holding a burning coal, expecting it to hurt someone else. In truth, we only burn ourselves. When we practice releasing our grip on expectations, regrets, control, we begin to breathe again. We begin to heal. Habit 7 is to reflect gently before sleep. At the end of each day, instead of scrolling, instead of drifting into worry or restlessness, we can turn inward, just for a few moments. We can close our eyes, take a few slow breaths, and ask, what did I do today that aligned with my deeper self? Where did I fall short? What can I learn? And most importantly, can I forgive myself and try again tomorrow? This habit turns each day into a teaching. It transforms mistakes into growth. It opens the door to compassion, not only for others, but for the most forgotten person of all, ourselves. Together, these three habits, kindness, letting go, and gentle reflection, form a quiet foundation for a meaningful life. They don't demand energy we don't have. They don't require perfection. They only ask for presence, for honesty, for the courage to live just a little more from the heart. And the beautiful truth is this: it's never too late to begin. No matter our past, no matter our age, every day gives us a new chance to soften, to release, and to live with deeper grace. You may be wondering, where do I begin? After hearing about these habits, these quiet practices rooted in Buddhist wisdom, it's natural to feel both inspired and uncertain. The mind might say, it sounds beautiful, but can I really do it? And the answer is yes. You don't need to change everything at once. You don't need to live like a monk or meditate for hours a day. You simply need a moment, a single breath of willingness to begin. Start small. Pick one habit, just one. Maybe tomorrow morning, you wake up 5 minutes earlier, sit quietly, and breathe. Maybe today at lunch, you eat your food without rushing, tasting each bite with presence. Maybe during your afternoon walk, you try to feel your feet as they touch the ground. Or maybe tonight, you take 2 minutes before bed to reflect gently on your day, not to judge yourself, but to honor your effort, your progress, your becoming. These are not rules. They are invitations, gentle ones. There is no right way to practice. There is only your way, the one that fits your rhythm, your needs, your life as it is now. And the beauty of these habits is that they meet you where you are. Whether you're in a quiet home or a noisy apartment, whether your body is strong or slower than before, whether your heart is heavy or hopeful, these practices will walk with you, patiently, without pressure. And if you forget one day or fall out of rhythm, it's okay. The path doesn't disappear. It's always there, waiting for your return. That is the kindness of this journey. It honors your humanness. It trusts your capacity to begin again. No matter how old you are, no matter what your past has looked like, today is always new. The breath in your lungs is new. The sky outside your window is new. And your ability to live with intention, awareness, and kindness, that too can be renewed, again and again. So don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait to feel ready. Let the practice begin not someday, but now, in this ordinary moment. Because sometimes one small habit, done with care, is enough to change the direction of an entire life. As we come to the end of this journey together, I invite you to pause. Not to analyze, not to judge, but simply to breathe and let these teachings settle gently into your heart. These 7 habits are not instructions to follow perfectly. They are seeds, tiny, living truths, that, when planted in the soil of daily life, will quietly begin to grow. And over time, they will change you. Not all at once, but slowly, gently, from the inside out. You don't need a temple made of stone to practice Buddhism. You don't need robes, rituals, or sacred texts in another language. Your real temple is your life, your breath, your words, your steps, your kindness, your silence, and your ability to begin again, with humility and care. Let each habit become a brick in that temple, a sacred part of your ordinary day. Imagine waking up with quiet instead of noise, eating with gratitude instead of distraction, listening with presence instead of reaction, walking with purpose instead of rushing, letting go instead of clinging, offering kindness instead of defense, reflecting instead of regretting. These are not just habits. They are ways of returning to what is real, what is timeless, what is already inside you, waiting to be remembered. If this video has touched something in you, if even one sentence made you pause, reflect, or feel a little lighter, I invite you to carry that feeling forward. And if you'd like to support more content like this, you can gently tap the like button, subscribe for future videos, and share this message with someone who might need a moment of peace today. But most importantly, bring these habits into your life. Not for me, not for anyone else, but for you, because you are worthy of peace. You are ready for stillness, and you are capable of transformation at any age. Thank you for being here. May your steps be steady, your heart be kind, and your days unfold with quiet meaning. The path is yours now. Walk it gently,